This is Water Over Toilet Paper, and today we're reviewing Malik. Directed by Mahesh Narayanan, starring Fahadh Faasil, Nimisha, Vinay Fort, Joju George, Dileesh Pootan, and many others.
The plot: Suleiman, a young man, rises to prominence through his committed fight against the political and police corruption of Ramadapalli. The plot revolves mostly around how these political maneuvers affect the lives of people living around this village.
The good, if you want us to answer the basic question of should you watch this movie, the answer is a definite yes. The movie is fucking awesome, and let's get to why so.
Performances. The film is filled with capable actors and they make their presence felt. It is clear that a bunch of talented actors got to work on a really good script. Fahadh Faasil as Suleiman brings apt vulnerability, aggression, and a sense of tiredness as we see his idealism die with his age. He's a fantastic actor, and this performance just goes on to his long list of great performances. Nimisha plays Suleiman's wife Rosalind. She is actually seen as the older version of the character for the majority of the film, and it never comes across as a caricature. You really believe that she is that old because of all the nuances she brings to the performance. It is even more impressive when you know the actual age of the actress. Her character has a range where she has to witness Suleiman's descent privately and also has to publicly stand up for him when he gets arrested. My favorite moment was her scene with Dileesh Pootan and the IG. When I fought as David, Suleiman's best friend who gets caught in the political manipulation, is excellent. He's very flawed and, just like Suleiman's character, has to live a life filled with regrets. His worry and anger seeing his son go down the same path as he did is genuinely touching. Other actors like Dileesh Pootan and Joju George bring a proper sense of stature to their characters. Speaking of which,
Characters with stature and purpose. All the characters in the film are powerful both in terms of the script and the influence they have in the film's universe. You feel the weight of all their words. You feel that each character could influence the story for better or worse in extreme ways. The filmmaking also helps sell these key interactions very well. All the characters, including smaller ones, have extremely well defined arcs. This is especially impressive for such a sprawling tale. There is definitely enough in this film for a TV series or at least a sequel.
pace. The pacing in the film is excellent. It manages to feel energetic and thrilling while being heavy at the same time. The structure really does help with this, as the present is very much the very end of an era part of the typical gangster story, and splitting this section up are the flashbacks that tell the story. This helps give the film a sense of speed while also giving it the required weight. There's no part of this film that feels flabby or unnecessary, save for the songs, but we'll get to that. And it carries that feeling all the way up to the end.
Visuals. The cinematography by Janu John Verghese is great. It's very subtly pretty, which is a great thing as it allows one to sink into the story. The camera work has a very rough, on-the-ground style with a lot of handheld, which makes it feel unpredictable and fast. The camera also tracks the characters constantly. Very rarely does it sit still. This is seen in the two one-takes the film has. The first one is exceptional, as it essentially puts you in the POV of a person simply tossed into this busy household. You're left to figure out who is what and what they're doing. This, coupled with the all-encompassing nature of the story, enhances it further, making it exciting as hell to watch.
Music. The score by Sushin Shyam really conveys the melancholic mood of the film, especially the song Rahimum Alimum. The first time we see Suleiman in the film, a piece of very downbeat music plays, making it clear that he is not a celebrated gangster but just a sad old man. The upbeat electronic guitar music that plays during the early parts of Suleiman's arc contrasts with this really well.
There will be spoilers from this point. If you don't want to hear them, go to this timestamp.
Writing. This is the kind of script that any writer would be proud to call his. It is written by Mahesh Narayanan, who directed and even edited the film. There are so many ways a script like this could get jumbled and fall flat.
New York is the greatest fucking city in the world.
But the script clearly understands the world of this film so well. It seamlessly goes to each character, kinda like the smooth oneer in the beginning. This, just like Vada Chennai, feels like an epic where the bigger events, even real life ones, caused by other powerful figures, have a trickle down effect on the people at the ground level. There are no plot conveniences from the writer and no easy way out for the characters. It's a well researched screenplay where character motivations are clearly justified by the circumstances. The structure of the film, with the older people who knew Suleiman telling his story to the young future Suleiman-esque character Freddy, is great. The film uses this to subvert expectations and keep the brisk pace of the film. It also does something that has thematic relevance with the structure, where David conveniently does not tell about Suleiman's son's death in his version of the story.
An in-depth look at communalism. The other thing the film does really well is show communalism in a realistic way. It is an extremely political film, but not something filled with dumb virtue signaling, but rather something that explores a real-life problem in an honest way. I like that in the film, characters constantly keep mentioning how they don't care what religion the other person comes from, and then they slowly sink to the point of hatred as they get manipulated by the political figures. And even that is not as simple as, the politicians did it all. There are clear personal biases within the characters that lead to these communal clashes. The film does not pass judgment on any of the characters. For instance, when Suleiman tells his Christian wife that he wants to raise his kids as Muslim, it is shown in a very matter-of-fact way, letting you decide what you take out of it. It's this restraint that helps the film.
An intimate gangster epic. The film is clearly inspired by films like The Godfather and Nayagan, but it does something new with it. It makes the characters less heroic and more vulnerable. For example, with Suleiman's arc, he does not go shoot up people the first chance he gets. He first retaliates just so that the rich people don't throw dumps in their mosque. The first time he uses a gun is to let the Christians come into the mosque. The choices of characters feel more desperate than virtuous. Suleiman does not become a gangster because he's power hungry. He becomes that as a way to fight for himself and his people. And in the end, he doesn't win. The system does. Fuck you, the system. Peace to bed.
Inconsistencies in the flashbacks. So the film is the story being told to us by three characters. Then why do these two know about Suleiman's love life? Why do they know of the time Rosalind surprise kissed him while he was at the club? Why do they know of these little details when both have a certain animosity towards him? It's especially strange that David tells Freddy how Suleiman and Rosalind were so in love and how romantic it all was. This doesn't ruin the film, but it does stand out because of how well done all the other aspects of this film are.
I did not like the usage of real life tsunami footage. It kind of felt unnecessary because it was not consistent in the movie. I also wished the film didn't do the post-production zooms and CCTV footage of Suleiman getting caught in the airport. The second one take, although powerful, technically falls short. It clearly looks little more stitched together, unlike the first one.
Conclusion! We give it
a 9 out of
10. There is a lot of passion and hard work put into the film and it shows. Go watch it. It's great. It's streaming on Amazon Prime Video right now.
Like, share, subscribe. I don't know what to say actually.
Like, share, subscribe, follow our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, our personal social media. You can follow our OnlyFans. You can find the podcast on Spotify.
Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Watch our other reviews, and we will be making more of these reviews and essay style videos too. Yay!
Very attractive.